Hello everybody, had a request to do an update on this tree. Hi Kenneth. Yes, so began this tree back in 2016, spring of 2016. This is obviously one of my fusion projects. I will post a link to the playlist for this tree in the description if you want to go back and look at earlier ones. This tree gave me a lot of trouble when I was trying to put it together. Initially it was supposed to be something else, but the trees were very brittle and wouldn't conform to what I want without snapping. So I ended up going for a three trunk arrangement, and as you can see, over the last couple of years, really, or 18 months I suppose, we've begun to get some fusion in some areas, not in others, and some dieback. Now, I've already cleaned out this particular branch, which had a lot of dead wood in it. I've removed the wire and took out the dead wood, and I'll rewire that in a minute. And I'm starting on this piece again. Took the wires off, and anything dead is just snapping away. So where I can take out the stub, I will. In some cases it's going down inside the tree, and I'll have to leave that and let nature take its course. But I don't think it will harm the tree too badly in the long run. So yeah, it's just snapping away very nicely. Back to living wood. For the most part, at least. That's all I'm going to do. It's leaving an interesting branch structure, and you don't want the trunks to be of a uniform thickness particularly, or at least I don't. I think that looks less natural than having them of different thicknesses. Where I can, I'll take out a piece, but okay, and then okay, so that's going to leave that which will be wired thusly. Just take out that stub there. I'm sure you've caught that. Okay, and get that dead leaf out. Now, got some unsightly scarring where the wires have dug in here, and once the tree is in growth in the spring, I will take a razor blade or a scalpel or something and just smooth those off a little bit, and then hopefully as the tree heals over those scars, it'll give it a more smooth appearance. So this is back to the third and final of the three trunks. Take that piece of wire off. And again, it's just a simple matter of pulling away the dead pieces. It is going to leave me actually with a relatively nice taper, so it may be that it's kind of done me a favour by some of these trees dying off. For the most part, none of the trees below this particular ring of wire, there's one dead piece just there, but the rest of them all seem to be alive and growing, so hopefully they'll all continue in the same vein and will fuse into position over the next couple of years. And come the end of that period, I'll have something halfway decent with a relatively large chunk circumference. And just try and remove this piece of stubborn wire here. nearly got it. There. Okay, so I'm also going to take some time to remove these pieces of wire. They're not actually doing anything to hold the trees in place anymore. Now the trees are fully rooted into this pot, I'm going to leave it in this pot, and these trees will continue to grow together because the roots are solid in the pot and they've got no place else to go. That's how I think it will work anyway. Any engineers out there who are different, I'd be interested to hear. Obviously I'm going to leave this large central wire that's holding everything up top. Yeah, I think that'll do for that. I'm going to try and snip out this dead piece here. Now, if nothing else, as the tree fuses, that's going to give this trunk some strange old character, leave it looking quite lumpy. So I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to wire up these sections again. I can see me being really clumsy, just knocking the camera about whilst I'm doing that, and then we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so that's these three wired up. Now, I'm not happy with certain areas of the branching. Beggars can't be choosers in some cases, and so some places like here I have two pieces coming off in a similar area. I don't want to cut this back and kill off this branch. And I don't want to cut this back, kill off this branch. So I'm going to leave both of those. I'm just going to shorten them back somewhat. So I'm going to cut that back and hope it back buds from lower down. And similarly, just remove that back to that bud there. This piece, I'm going to cut it back. So we got a branch coming out in this direction, removing these two branches that are coming off the top. Hopefully that leaves it, that'll make it back bud, but it also gives it a nice bit of movement just there. I don't like this thick piece that's coming from here, so I'm just going to take that off and hope for the best, that this piece will stay alive, otherwise it may have to come off at a later date. And then I'm just going to shorten that back to there. Likewise, if we go down this trunk line, I have, turn it slightly, two pieces coming from the same place there, which I want to lose one, and I'm going to lose the lower one, which is interfering with this branch. And then this branch I'm going to shorten to this particular bud. And then continuing down, I have a branch here that's crossing over and interfering with this branch, so I'm going to take that right out. That source, let's get rid of that. Likewise, as I go further down, I have a branch coming out sideways across the trunk, and I'm thinking this is my front at the moment, but you know, that may change with time. I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to remove these lower growths that are there. In fact, all of these lower growths that are just too low for any competition. I'm hoping that by removing chunk of the growths, then I'll get some back budding. Field maples are good at back budding. I'm going to leave this one in, that'll keep growing out and help fill in this hollow, which would be nice. This is just going to shorten and shorten that. A lot of these just want shortening more than anything else. This I'm going to just shorten a little, and we'll see how that responds. A lot of branches coming out. Take off some of these stubs. Shorten that large chunk. Leave this thinner one, which I'm going to shorten. Same with that piece. Take that off there. And these inner facing buds, or shoots rather, take them off. Okay, so just shortening a lot back. I may wire that. Oops, nah, as you see, this was an issue I had initially. Very sorry, missed that. This was an issue I had initially with this tree. I was just bending this down to have a look whether I could wire it into position, and it's just snapped. Very brittle, these trees. This particular batch was terrible for it, really. So just going to take that off and hope we get some further back budding rather than dieback. Otherwise that's going to leave another empty chunk there. Still, as you can see, this tree's still got a long way to go. I'm not entirely happy with this piece. In fact, now I look at it again from this angle, I'm going to take it out entirely. Yeah, I think that's going to be better in the long run, and leaves this as a main trunk, and I'm going to take that piece out. And that piece. Yeah, I'm liking that better. Okay, so if we do a bit of a zoom out and 360, I'll just tidy up this piece. We have some crossing branches. Shorten that back. Shorten that back. Take that piece off. Shorten that. Shorten that. And that. And take that off of there because it's going sideways across the tree. There. That's yeah, let's remove that. And that. Okay, that's it. I'm going to call that quits for today. This tree is going to go back and it will be fed and watered all next summer, and we'll come back and look at it in the autumn. Okay, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves.